Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 23, Text 7, Translation. Maharaj Prithu underwent all these severe austerities in order to control his words and his senses, to refrain from discharging his semina, and to control the life air within his body. All this he did for the satisfaction of Krishna. He had no other purpose. Report. In Kali Yuga, the following is recommended. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama iva kevalam, kalau nastiva, 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 gatir anyata. Brihan Naradiya Purana. In order to be recognized by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should chant the holy name of the Lord continuously, 24 hours a day. Unfortunate persons who cannot accept this formula prefer to execute some type of pseudo-meditation without accepting the other processes of austerity. The fact is, however, that one must accept either the severe method of austerity described above to become purified, or take to the process of devotional service recommended for pleasing the Supreme Lord Krishna. The person who is Krishna conscious is most intelligent, because in Kali Yuga it is not at all possible to undergo such severe austerities. We need only follow great personalities like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In his Shikshashtaka, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, all glories to the holy name of Lord Krishna, which from the very beginning purify the heart and immediately liberate one. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, if the real purpose of all yoga is to please Lord Krishna, then this simple bhakti yoga system recommended for this age is sufficient. It is necessary, however, to engage constantly in the service of the Lord. Although Prithu Maharaj executed his austerities long before the appearance of Lord Krishna on this planet, his purpose was still to please Krishna. There are many fools who claim that worship of Krishna began only about 1,000 years ago after the appearance of Lord Krishna in India, but this is not a fact. Prithu Maharaj worshipped Krishna millions of years ago, for Prithu happened to be a descendant of the family of Maharaj Dhruva, who reigned for 36,000 years during the Satya Yuga age. Unless his total lifespan was 100,000 years, how could Dhruva Maharaj reign over the world for 36,000 years? The point is that Krishna worship existed at the beginning of creation and has continued to exist throughout Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga. And now it is continuing in Kali Yuga. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna not only appears in this millennium of Brahma's life, but in every millennium. Therefore, worship of Krishna is conducted in all millenniums. It is not that Krishna worship began only when Krishna appeared on this planet 5,000 years ago. This is a foolish conclusion that is not substantiated by Vedic literatures. Also of significance in this verse are the words Ariradayishu Krishnam Acharat Tapa Uttamam. Maharaj Prithu underwent severe types of austerities for the express purpose of worshipping Krishna. Krishna is so kind, especially in this age, for he appears in the transcendental vibration of his holy name. As is said in the Narada Pancharatra, Aradito yadiharis tapasa tatakim. If Krishna is worshipped, if he is the goal of advancement, there is no need for one to execute severe types of tapasya, because one has already reached his destination. If after executing all types of tapasya, one cannot reach Krishna, all this tapasya has no value, for without Krishna, all austerity is simply wasted labor. Shrama eva hi kevalam, Bhagavatam 1-8. We should therefore not be discouraged just because we cannot go to the forest and practice severe austerities. Our life is so short that we must strictly adhere to the principles laid down by the Vaishnava Acharyas and peacefully execute Krishna consciousness. There is no need to become despondent. Narottam Das Thakur recommends Anande Balahari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Mayaya Man. For a transcendental blissful life, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, come worship the holy place of Vrindavan, and always engage in the service of the Lord, of the spiritual master, and of the Vaishnavas. This Krishna consciousness movement is therefore very safe and easy. We have only to execute the order of the Lord and fully surrender unto Him. We have only to execute the order of the spiritual master, preach Krishna consciousness, and follow in the path of the Vaishnavas. The spiritual master represents both Lord Krishna and the Vaishnavas. Therefore, by following the instructions of the spiritual master and by chanting Hare Krishna, everything will be all right. Titikshur yata vagdanta urdvareta jatanilaha ariradayishu krishnam acharat tapa uttamam. Maharaj Prithu underwent all these severe austerities in order to control his words and his senses, to refrain from discharging his semina, and to control the life air within his body. All this he did for the satisfaction of Krishna. He had no other purpose. So in this verse, austerities are mentioned, and let us look at what these austerities were. He accepted 5 kinds of heating processes during the summer season, exposed himself to torrents of rain in the rainy season, and in the winter stood in water up to his neck. He also used to simply lie down on the floor to sleep. Now Srila Prabhupada says that these are austerities executed by jnanis and yogis who cannot accept the process of bhakti yoga. They must undergo such severe types of austerities in order to become purified from material contamination. Pancha tapaha refers to 5 kinds of heating processes. One is also enjoined to sit within a circle of fire with flames blazing from 4 sides and the sun blazing directly overhead. This is one kind of pancha tapa recommended for austerity. Similarly, in the rainy season, one is enjoined to expose himself to torrents of rain, and in winter to sit in cold water up to the neck. As far as bedding is concerned, the ascetic should be content with simply lying on the floor. The purpose for undergoing such severe austerities is to become a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, as explained in the next verse.
What text is it now?
Huh?
What text was read now? 8,
6.
9?
6.
6, okay, sorry.
The previous verse.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we have Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yad karoshi, yadashnasi, yad juhoshi, dadasiyat, yatapasyasi, kaunteya, tat kurushvama darpanam. Okay, can you find that verse in the Bhagavad Gita? You can look at the index of Sanskrit verses and find it. If you don't know the number, I don't know the number. So at the end, there is index of Sanskrit verses, and you can look why this epsilon, why Yad Karoshi, Yadashnasi. Oh, here there is no index here in this Bhagavatam. Y-A-T, Yat. It's not J, it's Y. Yat. Yat Karoshi, Yadashnasi.
What was that? Karosh Yadashnashi, 927.
Okay. 927. read the translation only.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
So that's the 927. That's the verse. And so this is exactly what Maharaj Prithu did. He did these austerities, but for the pleasure of the Lord and for being detached from the material attachment to the body. And it's very severe. Austerities like heating. You surround yourself with fire, but you do this in the open sunshine. There is one man that is very popular today. He's known as Iceman, and he is able to sit in a freezing cold water for 2 hours without his health being affected. And I think he was climbing. I don't know if it's Mount Everest or some mountain without top clothes, and also I think in short pants. Yeah, he took with him some people also. So he recommends freezing and immersing yourself in cold water, very cold water. So we see that this practice is there in the yogic practice in the Vedas. It's recommended. So you, in order to become detached from the body, from the attachment to the body, then you expose the body to some austerities, and you may sometimes try to take a cold shower, but the mind gets very scared about this, and then the body also maybe reacts. Can you put a read about Bhagavad Gita? The mind becomes. So, if you like, if you'd like to take a cold shower, how can you do that? Maybe you want to stretch yourself a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to take a cold shower. So how can you do that? You can adapt the body. Adapting. You understand? So, sometimes, especially in the winter, it's very hard to do that. If outside is not so cold, that it's easier. Last year I was alone in one place at the seaside. I didn't have heating, and it was November, very cold. But I didn't have heating in the house, and then also there, I didn't heat the water for shower. And I also brought water from the sea because I was saving water. Didn't want to pay for the water, so you get salty water for a shower, and then you can splash yourself, but it can shock the body also. The body is warm after sleeping. But adaptation, you can actually smear your body with water with your hand first, and then the body becomes adapted. Then the next wave of water, it's not so shocking if you first do like this. First you put some water and then or put in your hand. so then it's not so difficult to do, and then you start to like it, and you don't want to stop this cold shower. But in the beginning, it's so scary. The mind says, wow, you're going to die or something if you do this. And if you put it on your head, you're going to go crazy or something. But again, you can do, put it on your hand first, do like this. So you can try this to stretch a little bit, stretch yourself. And I find if you try to make the body comfortable all the time, the body will become sick. So the body has to have some hardship. That's why people do exercises and they run and do so many things and and also one great tapasya for the body is overeating. We think it's an enjoyment, but actually it's a big tapasya because then you have to digest and you have slow digestion and then it's again like for 5-6 hours you are like this, like shocked completely. I remember when I was a new devotee for the first 20 years, and then they say, "Are you okay?" People think I'm depressed. I was never depressed. I was always enthusiastic, but but they think because I'm digesting food and it's hard, and then I have this expression like completely exhausted and like shocked. And I say, no, the problem is the breakfast was actually not a breakfast, it was a lunch. And then, I'm digesting it. and I was translating books. And if you translate books, if you take like 1 kilo, half kilo of halava for breakfast, how do you translate books? So I asked Satchidananda Swami, because he was also translating books into German when he was new devotee. How did you deal with this breakfast and translation? And he said, well, you have to walk. You have to walk outside. Then I walk outside, and then I come back and my food is still not digested, and I try to just lie down for a second and I fall asleep. So, I don't know, maybe you have better digestion, but my digestion is slower. And it was always like this, and it's if you eat rock bread or something heavy. The other day was this cauliflower, which was not 100% cooked. So if you eat this, when I was on a raw food, I ate completely raw cauliflower, but grinded, and it was also heavy. So and then I tried to eat it, and then for hours I was just in a state of shock. So, like overeating or eating heavy food is a big tapasya. It's much easier to eat lighter food, to drink soups, or to eat soups. And I see that when I take liquids into my body says, yes, this is it. This is what we want. But sometimes heavy stuff is very tasty, so you cannot resist. And yesterday, one coach from England sent me a recording of her coaching session, and the client, or the role of the client was played by another coach, one lady also, and she was speaking about not eating. So, how many of you eat in between meals? Okay, so these snacks actually, for her, are difficult because she's running, and if she eats, then she has to wait until it's digested. So the whole session was about her giving up snacks. They spoke for about 1 hour about giving up snacks. And it's so hard for her. And then she was very honest. She says, well, I can do something else, but it's not the same. It's much more exciting to eat these snacks. And this habit is from the childhood. So we have so many habits that we cannot overcome. And sometimes we have no hope. When I'm going to become detached? And then one Prabhu was, I think there was Facebook post, and there was a beautiful picture of Jagannath, and one Prabhu said, well, after so many years, I'm still more excited when I see a woman than Lord Jagannath. Because he was honest. So we are so weak in Kali Yuga that when we see a sense object, whether it's food or a form of a woman or a man or music or something, we're just still so attracted to these things. And because there is this habit for many lifetimes enjoying the sense objects. And Bhagavad Gita says, Dhyayato Vishayam Pumsam Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodha Pajayate. Who knows what it means? Dhyayato Vishayam Pumsam Sangasteshu Pajayate. Vishaya is what?
If you thinking about something, so you want to become, to get those things, in that way you will get anger and something will go.
But Vishaya is sense objects. Dhyayato, dhyana, meditation, contemplation. Dhyana, dhyayato, Vishaya, pumsam. If you contemplate sense object, you develop attachment to them. Sangasteshu pajayate. Sangha means association or attachment. And then this attachment arouses kama or lust, kama, and then from unfulfilled desires, krodha or anger comes. And then krodha bhavati samohat smriti vibrama smriti bramsha vidi nasho. Yes, something like that, the last line. So these two verses describe so-called royal road to hell. So from krodha bhavati samoha, from krodha or anger, illusion comes, samoha. Samohat smriti vibrama, from illusion you lose memory. Smriti vibrama, vibrama means disturbed memory. Then intelligence is destroyed, buddhi nashat. When you lose memory, intelligence is destroyed. And what is the last one? And then you fall into the whirlpool of material existence again. So you're dragged down. So two functions of Maya is avaranatmika shakti and prakshapatmika shakti. Avaranatmika shakti means to cover you over, and prakshapatmika shakti means to drag you down. So we have this experience as devotees. Sometimes we are completely covered over, and then we degrade ourselves somehow, at least for some time. So sometimes the mind is so crazy, it tells you, you have to enjoy, you have to drink coffee, you have to drink beer, you have to find a woman, you have this, you have that, and then you're like this. You say, I mean, what am I, a demon, or maybe I'm not a devotee, or who I am, and you're completely confused. So what you can do? Now Srila Prabhupada is speaking about internal dialogue is for lunatic. So actually you can use the way you talk to yourself about what is happening to you to make a shift. Like sometimes you can feel so sorry, you are maybe attached to someone, or you're attached to the idea of having an ideal person with whom you can have loving relationship other than Krishna, and then you are very sorry, maybe that person doesn't exist, or maybe the person you like from this world doesn't want to be with you, and you can feel very sad. But you can change the way you talk to yourself about anything, any kind of attachment. If you can talk in a very reasonable way, and also in the spiritual way. If we're not able to speak in the spiritual way, to think in a spiritual way, then it's very difficult to remain peaceful. So you can check, is my thinking spiritual? What am I thinking? Is it spiritual? Is this inner conversation, or inner monologue, or inner dialogue, whatever you call it? But here Srila Prabhupada suggests a wonderful thing. regarding this inner dialogue, to talk to the super soul, who is also within. Who is also within. And so how do you talk about anything? How do you talk to yourself about attachment? So if you see a sense object that you are attracted to, for example, my mind, when there is food, my mind tells me this has to be eaten. Because it will be spoiled, it will be thrown away, or it's an offense to leave it. And your stomach, because you already had a big meal, maybe 2 hours ago, it says, you're not hungry. You are not hungry. Why do you think? Because it was left over from breakfast, and I have to eat it, and I already contaminated it. So I can give it to anyone. I can give it for the distribution, forever. But this is not true. Just the mind is finding the reason to eat and to enjoy a little bit in conjunction with senses. You have to leave it. Maybe eat it later when you are not hungry. When you are hungry, or give it to the birds, or give it to the fish in the river. I don't know if Ryan has fish in the river or in the seaside. So you don't have to eat the food that will be extra on top of the food that you have already eaten. But the mind says you have to eat it. You have this sacred duty, obligation to eat it. It's prashadam, mahaprashadam, or And this is not true that you have to eat it at that time when you are not, and which is not healthy for you. Then the mind may tell you, oh, you need a woman. You need a woman because you don't feel complete without a woman. Is that true? In the Ishopanishad it is said, Adah Purnamidam Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadayam Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Complete, and he has created complete units of living entities. They are complete in themselves. So you don't need another conditioned soul to make you feel complete. This is an illusion. It's an illusion. But everybody thinks, I need somebody else so that I can be happy. I need somebody else to complete me. I need my better half. And so your capacity to enjoy is limited. But conditioned souls who come to the material world want to imitate God, and they say, no, I can do it, I can enjoy, I can eat, I can do this and that. And then after some time they see, no, I can't, actually, I cannot do it. So therefore the most difficult thing is balance.
To know,
Everyone knows that he has to die. You said.
No, that's a different question. That was what is the most wonderful thing? This question is, what is the most difficult thing? Most difficult thing in the world?
to know what to speak and when to speak, what to speak or how to speak, when to stop or something.
No. I know I was saying like this.
The Yudhishthira, it was the most difficult thing to lie. I don't know, it's not. He couldn't tell lies. He couldn't. But it's not
Yeah.
what you mean.
You're right. Yeah, for him it was difficult. He was highly moral person. For him it was the most difficult thing to lie.
It means something different. I know it's something here, but it.
The answer was, you have to pay me if you want me to tell you.
With some food.
With some food. What is the most difficult thing in the world? What is most difficult? That's a tricky answer. No. It's a tricky answer. Okay, the most difficult thing is to know when to stop. With anything. With eating, with whatever. Usually it has to do with sense objects. You know, when to stop. To know when to stop. So, we think that we are special, we Hare Krishnas, and we are special in one way or the other, but also we are not special. We are not yogis as yogis. I mean, we're bhakti yogis, but we're not. Like it is said that you should fill half of your stomach with food, then 1/4 with water and 1/4 with air. But we fill like 5/4 of our stomach with food, and then maybe a little bit of water, and then there is no space. So you have to leave space in your stomach so that it can function, that it can digest. And this statement, I'm hungry, this is the biggest lie in the universe. I'm hungry. I have to eat because I'm hungry. Are you really hungry? Well, my mind tells me that I'm hungry, but my body actually is full. My body is full. So, what? Maybe drink little water or little milk or something, but you don't have to eat. And then you get on a diet, and one night, when everybody's sleeping, you go and desert the refrigerator. You break your diet secretly. And then you write a book about a diet. And still, you have written a book about a diet, but you cannot follow your own diet. You become a big best-selling New York Times best-selling author, and you know, you go on Oprah with your book, but you cannot follow your own diet. So do you know which books are #1 on Amazon? You're too smart. So whenever you write, if you will write a book, maybe in the future, always put the word diet in the title. Because so Americans, they buy so many books on diet, but they are getting fatter and fatter. It seems like the problem is not that they don't know, but they don't apply it. They don't apply it. So if you write a book about success, how to be successful, so you can always add the word diet. How to be successful diet. I'm going to lose weight, you know, I'm going to lose weight. There was one Mataji, it is confidential. I will not tell you her name and the country. In one country, and once she met, I was outside in the courtyard of the temple, and she saw her friend whom she didn't see for a long time, maybe 50 meters, and she said, "Hi, Haribol," and she's huge, really, really fat. I mean, extremely fat. And she said, "Hi, I'm on a diet." Immediately, first thing she said, "I'm on a diet," but actually, she doesn't look like she's on a diet. So I want to say that actually people are dreaming about results of the diet. I'm going to lose weight. How many times we have given a vow from Monday, I'm going to become a better devotee. from Janmashtami. Now it's Nirjala Ekadashi. From Nirjala, I'm going to do austerity on Nirjala Ekadashi. I'm not going to drink anything. I'm not going to eat anything. I will only eat air. And then I'm going from the next day. I'm going to be a better devotee, more austere. How many times we can give in that vow? So therefore, I recommend start with a small thing. I'm sorry, I'm a life coach. I'm doing coaching, so I work with my clients with small goals, small achievements first. So choose one thing that you want to change and work on it for some time, and have your success partner and report to him. Okay, my one thing. For example, I don't know. I'm whatever, saying no to sweets for 3 days or something. Take one thing so that you can feel a sense of victory over your senses, at least a small sense of victory. And if you fail, you can start again. Always go back to your practice. And one day, Krishna will see, he's so serious. For so many years, he's failing to control his mind and senses. And now I will give him the power to do it. I will give him the power to do it. So never stop trying to get better in any area of life. Don't lose hope. Try. Yesterday I wrote several Facebook posts, and maybe the best, if you ask me, what is the best post you have ever written, which came from my own, thinking. Usually this what I publish comes during japa. Then I write it and publish later. So the best ever tip. What do you think it is the best ever tip for personal improvement, for success? What do you think it is? It's 2 words. You don't read my Facebook, that's why you don't know now. Low battery.
Low battery.
Low battery.
2 words. Low battery.
No, it's not that one. There is one devotee watching, so
Don't be distracted.
wave, smile, say Haribol. Okay, you want to guess the best tip? 2 words.
Do it.
Do it. Do what?
First.
This is stolen from Nike. From Just Do It. Not original. I didn't steal it from anybody.
Then maybe don't do it.
You also don't do it. I like this one. Okay, I will give you one word, but you have to guess the main word. The second word is yourself. Yourself. So, what's the first word?
Trust.
Trust yourself? No.
Change yourself.
It's near. Change yourself? Okay. In order to change yourself, what do you need to do?
Preach to yourself.
Preach to yourself. This is not one word. You cannot say preach yourself. So that's not.
Love yourself.
Love yourself? This new age. What?
The torchlight is on the handy.
I don't know why. I didn't touch anything. What happened?
Low battery.
Oh my god. Low battery now is making it lower. Why did it start?